the councillor for Bronsbury Park, just next door. I'm very proud to represent that ward, where I work tirelessly for my residents, and I work indeed tirelessly for the residents across Brent as a Conservative with our small group to provide much needed opposition to the shoddy Labour administration that we have in charge of Brent. I'm standing, ladies and gentlemen, for the London Assembly because I believe that Brent and Harrow badly need better representation on the London Assembly. We have tremendous opportunities in these two boroughs. We need to invest in our transport links. We need to take advantage of the business rates revolution, and we need to attract and retain more businesses in our boroughs. We also have tremendous challenges around housing and other issues. I believe that I am the best candidate to deliver for the residents of Brent and Harrow. For 8 years, we have had a non-existent Assembly member. I intend to change that, and I intend to use all the tools at the disposal of the London Assembly to be a champion for the residents of Brent and Harrow. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to thank Jerry and the whole team who organized this event, and also to all the stallholders. I had a chance to go around and see what an exciting things you all had on offer, which is so exciting. I also like to thank the staff behind for the catering and lovely tea that I got, and thank you all for coming here. And I was sorry I couldn't come for the first part of your AGM, but I did for the other because of the train delay. As I said before, my name is RATHY ALAGARATNAM, and I'm an ex-carer and a community worker. And the reason why I feel passionate about being a candidate for the GLA representing Brent and Harrow is because I feel that you all need a choice. You need to have people who care. And I'm not a career politician. I'm just someone, just an ordinary person who decided to go into politics because I felt frustrated. I couldn't get anywhere. I had no answers. And now, as you see, every day we are having new things unfolding in the media, and we are getting shock after shock. We are having a chronic shortage of housing. Transport is bursting. Schools, there's not enough school places. There's not enough secondary schools. Children who are coming out of secondary education. There's no hope, there's no jobs. We have 1 million people going to food banks, and we are the 5th richest country in the world. Isn't that a disgrace? And we had Boris Johnson. Yes, he's fine, he goes around, he does all kinds of tricks. But what has he really done for the ordinary men and women in London? Nothing. And that is why you're so right there. And that is why I'm an ordinary person, and I use public transport. And I care about issues, and that is why I want to work hard, and with everyone's support, I want to show you that I am capable and willing to represent you if you give me the chance. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank MAPRA for hosting this wonderful event in such spectacular surroundings. My name is AKIB. I'm a local lad. I was born and bred just around the corner around here. I was educated here, I've worked here all my life, and I'm standing for the Brent and Harrow GLA from the Respect Party, because although I find it difficult to believe, I agree with Conservative. We have had an absentee Assembly member representing us, and unfortunately that means Boris Johnson has been able to get away with daylight robbery, and that's left London with unaffordable housing, unaffordable transport fares, and frankly, a London that's run for the 1% and not the rest of us, not the 99% that it should be. And I want to be the broom that sweeps up the corruption and the profligacy at City Hall. I want to fight for affordable housing. I want to protect the public services like the fire services, like the police. I want to protect, and I want to be a strong voice that can hold a mayor to account. I want a mayor to represent the 99%. I want a mayor to represent all of us, not just the City Hall and City of London Corporation. And I want the GLA to be radically reformed. It's a toothless organisation at the moment, and it doesn't have any real powers apart from investigating stuff. That's not going to get us anywhere. The mayor just writes roughshod over all of their recommendations. regulations. So I'd just like to say on the 5th of May, vote for respect, vote for George Galloway for mayor, vote for Brenton Harrow constituency, AKIB MAHMOOD, and vote for Respect Party on the party list. Thank you.
Good evening. It has been an absolute honor serving you on the London Assembly for the past 8 years. And in the last term, I've served on planning, regeneration, transport, policing and crime committees, as well as a substantial number of years on the London Fire Brigade. As an introduction, rather than going into personal insults, I'd like to deal with the business at hand. And that is where I'd like to introduce on the 3 topics I have used, both to illustrate some of the achievements as well as my clear plan, clear pledges for the London Assembly. First, let me talk about the 3 success stories. Queensbury Pub, working with the local campaigners, have helped to save the pub from demolition, and as a result, there's also statutory requirement to protect pubs in the London plan. Old Wilston Library, again working with you, have helped to retain our local heritage. Manual platform for platform ramps. My work with the disabled wheelchair users and the local community has resulted in having platform ramps at key stations like Kilburn, like Stanmore, like Family Park. Moving on to 3 clear plan and pledges I have if I'm re-elected. Housing. I will fight my corner for genuine, affordable and socially rented housing right across London, particularly in Brent. Policing. I will press Mayor for more effective local neighbourhood police to drive down crime, particularly violent crime which is rising in Brent. Sustainable transport, another key issue. I will continue my work for affordable and accessible transport, have a greater emphasis on walking as well as cycling, and to make sure that there is improved quality of air, particularly in areas like North Circular in Brent. I conclude by giving you a firm commitment to continually working with the communities. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
I begin by talking to you a bit about why I find myself here today. I've always been interested in politics, and I've considered myself to be both on the left and on the right. The reason I joined the Liberal Democrats is because I believe my party is the only party to marry 2 really important principles that I hold dear: equality and individual freedom. A year after I joined the party, I stood in my home ward of Duddon Hill in the local council elections. That council election taught me a lot about myself, about how much this really means to me. I loved going out and talking to my community. I loved talking to them about the issues that they care about, the potholes and the wonky pavements, but also the really big issues that a lot of people struggle with: housing, the state of the NHS. I'm standing for the GLA because I believe my party and Caroline Pidgeon, our mayoral candidate, are the only ones who have a real credible plan to deal with some of the really difficult issues that Londoners face. Housing. The fact that young people like myself find it very difficult to live, to buy properties and to rent in the capital. Dealing with air pollution and climate change in the capital, which is so important. And also dealing with, sorry, lost my train of thought. Housing, air pollution, and also the fact that my party is the only party that really has a fully costed plan to deal with these things. I'm really grateful and honoured to be here today. Thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to answering your questions later.
Hi, my name is JAFAR HASSAN. I'm standing as the Green Party candidate in the GLA. Why I'm here, I've seen, like many of you as a Londoner, luxury apartments being built without our say, local services being dismantled and cut to devastating effect on our communities. If elected, I will fight to give London back to Londoners. And I've lived in Brent my whole life, and so, like all of you, I believe that we need to be making our communities stronger, safer and cleaner. That means putting extra emphasis on smarter community policing. It means keeping our pavements and our streets safer for pedestrians and cyclists. And putting communities first before new housing developments and massive infrastructure projects are undertaken. what we've seen from what the other candidates have said, from what mayoral candidates have said, is that Londoners actually want green policies. A lot of people are talking about cleaner air, about protecting communities better. These are green policies. And I'll fight to make sure that your voices are heard in the Assembly. So on 5th of May, vote for real change, vote green. Thank you.
I'm a bred Northwest Londoner. I love living in Brent and I love the opportunities that exist in Brent and Harrow. If you elect me, I will work tirelessly to deliver positive change for Brent and Harrow. There are so many transport links that must be improved on the Metropolitan line and on the Jubilee line. There are so many issues around access to stations at Harrow on the Hill and Stanmore, a complete failure for NAVIN to do that. We must change who is representing us on the London Assembly. We cannot have 12 years of NAVIN's failures. So please elect me and I will work tirelessly to deliver positive change for Brent and Harrow.
One thing that we have as an answer, and that is leaving the EU is crucial for London's future prosperity, because then only we will be able to reduce overcrowding and pressure on schools, housing, the mental health service, stop cheap labour, suppressing wages, safeguarding the city's financial institutions, opening up trade with the whole world. For those of you who laughed, 4 million people voted UKIP, and that is why we're having a referendum. So we put David Cameron's feet to the fire. And please vote UKIP, vote ALAGARATNAM RATHY on May the 5th, and I'll do my best to make sure that Brent and Harrow is right on top.
Just to wind up on the housing, actually, it was the Tories that sold off all the social housing, and it was the Labour that failed to replenish those stocks. And also, there's hundreds of thousands of empty homes that are creating an artificial housing crisis. All these, overseas buyers that are leaving those properties empty and simply don't even want to rent them out. That's what's causing the artificial housing crisis, and we need hundreds of thousands of new council homes. In closing, I'd say vote for a London for all, not just those dripping in gold and hiding their money away in Panama. Vote 5th of May for George Galloway and respect, and Mahmood and respect. Thank you.
Contrary to fiction you heard from one of the candidates, if elected, I will remain your active, proactive, ever-present candidate as a London Assembly member. I have a clear plan. I already talked about housing, I already talked about sustainable transport, policing. I will add to that mini Hollands for Brent and Harrow for cycling. I would also add economic growth and regeneration, where we have huge opportunities through Oldham Common. So this is why I want you to vote for me as well as
show some respect for NAVIN SHAH, please.
Yeah, okay.
The reason I'm standing is because I really love this community, and it would really be an honour to represent this community on the GLA come the 5th of May. As I've said in the past, as I've just said, Caroline Pidgeon and the London Liberal Democrats really do have a plan to deal with the lack of affordable housing in the capital, the crippling cost of transport in the city, dealing with climate change and air pollution in the city. I think what we just witnessed is exactly why I'm a fresh face in politics who doesn't want all this negativity about. I think that it's wrong. And on May the 5th, vote Caroline Pidgeon for mayor. Vote for me as your local GLA member, and vote for Caroline Pidgeon's London Liberal Democrats on the orange ballot paper if you want a Liberal voice on the GLA. Thank you.
Londoners want green policies, like I said before. We've heard from the other candidates talking about air pollution, talking about bringing greener policies to London. If you really want those policies, vote green on the 5th of May. Vote Sean Berry. Vote for a plan that will actually give real change to London and give communities back to Londoners. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to thank all the candidates. I hope it's illuminated your votes. So don't forget, yes, as David explained, you've got 3 ballot papers and 4 votes for the mayor, the GLA member and the general member. So thank you again to all the candidates and all of you for taking